can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello.
So you can hear me, right, Kai?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Kai Rigby's on stream, and he's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go back for the fans here. All right, so start of the game. Litebrite immediately does a Zair, which is a good option, honestly. Zair's very, very good. But you don't really do anything with it. You immediately retreat, wave dash back. That's a Nair right there instead of the Fair. Basically, when you put out missiles, you should immediately have follow-ups, even if they're not going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular scenario, he was like, I really wish I could go back. In this particular scenario, he's running away from you, so his back is to you. He doesn't really have any options coming out back, out of shield behind him.
Bear out of shield is not a fast option.
No, it's not. So you essentially have free pressure, which means you can just put out an aerial. You can put out an air, you can put out whatever you want. And you have to recognize this happens. You have to recognize that your opponent is not facing you.
Yeah, I think like at this moment I was probably 100% fair. Like despite anything else that was going on, I was already committed.
The fair should have been put out right now, right where I have it paused is where the fair should have come out. Or it should have come out like a couple frames later.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it slower. So that's where the fair should, like the latest the fair should have come out, as he's still recovering from being hit by a missile. Because in a couple frames he's going to jump out of shield to escape the situation, and you would have landed a meaty fair.
Yeah.
But because you waited too long, see,
Mm-hmm.
if you had put that at the fair when like basically at the peak of your jump, you would have had stage control 100% there.
Yeah, he probably would have maybe even had to like grab ledge.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the point. Like, if you look at what my notes were, mostly I want you to look at like the overall conclusion, where it's like you need to have a game plan. Like Ganon, with most characters, you just get them off stage and gimp them. That's really that's the best base game plan you can have against Ganon, because he's just Fat Falcon who hits really hard and is a little bit floatier, has a little bit of a better recovery. But just like Falcon, if you just bully the hell out of Ganon, doesn't really have a whole lot to do if he doesn't get close to you. So
I think one of the things you noted a few times, or at least in one of the conclusions, was not playing with like the friendlies mindset, and like going for the game plan and sticking to like that instead of just experimenting. And so I think that's something I'm struggling with, partially because I don't compete like really at all. So it's hard for me to force that mentality on myself. Especially because it's like playing that way is going to be the more unfun way to play against Samus versus my traditional play style. So
your goal in competition is not to have fun; it's to win.
No. I know. That's just why I think it's not natural to me, because I'm not like forcing that mindset.
Right, and you need to be able to flip that switch and say, like, it's not going to be fun for it's. Let's just put it this way. When I compete, if you are prone to tilting, if you're prone to getting salty, I'm going to make you really upset. I'm going to go on purpose and be this evil person and make you as upset as I can, because that will make me win the game.
So that was my game plan in winter semis. I actually did have a game plan, and that was it in winter semis, because I know he was a melee player that I've even seen on Twitter get salty about losing to PM like recently. So I was like, he's never gonna know. Have played an Ice Samus. Like, I'm just gonna abuse those things in Zair and get a free win on a Marth player.
Like, it's not. It doesn't feel good to play that way, but like.
It wins you the game.
It's a competition. If it's competition, it's competition. It's competition.
Yeah.
So, this matchup is Samus favored because you have those long range options
Mm-hmm.
and you have that space control. Ganon's very good at controlling the space kind of around him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why a Ganon just walking at you and like F
Yeah.
tilting is scary.
Yeah.
It's the same way like you fight an Ike, like an Ike F tilting just covers so much space and it's just commands respect.
Mm-hmm.
Samus does the same thing. Samus doesn't have the power behind it, but Samus has the speed, and Samus controls a lot more space kind of
Mm-hmm.
openly. So, keep the mentality in mind that you can't be dicking around with ideas unless you're just bopping them, unless you're
Right.
just dominating them. Then you can do stuff like I do, like just wave bounce Falcon Punch for fun. Like,
Right.
if you're not that confident, don't experiment.
Yeah.
Hey Jan, what's up? So you get the missile. You decide to immediately jump backwards. I didn't even catch that. You jump backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's why I think it was a misinput.
you
Like,
sure? Because
I don't know. I
that
mean, this
ruins
is too long.
that
We've already.
ruins your statement of I try to wave dash in, because that control stick is different. It's a different
I agree.
direction.
Hey, we already said how sloppy this game was. So.
It was very sloppy. But this kind of illustrates like maybe your mentality at the moment is you weren't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
paying attention to what was going on,
Mhm.
and for whatever reason you were expecting that missile to not hit and having to respect him. You don't want to do that. Like, doesn't matter who you're fighting, what character you're fighting, doesn't. You do not over respect your opponent, because then it's like you're fighting a top 10 level player constantly.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to go up against like Flip or me or Thunder's Reign in tournament, you're already giving that extra respect. Like, they could touch of death me. You don't want to give that respect to everybody, otherwise you're going to stress yourself the hell out.
Yeah.
It's better to have that confidence of this tournament's free, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
But,
I know what you mean.
You have to have that good balance of like passive and defensive. I will say, Samus, you are in the weakest possible position as Samus right now.
In the air without a double jump, yeah.
Yes. Samus does not have a good descending game.
No, I know.
So you don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, ever, voluntarily. And you do it constantly, so, something to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
But obvious thing is, you get the missile, you should have wave dash in, maybe shield, wave dash in, shield, wait for a get up attack, or force him to roll backwards, or even roll into you.
Mm-hmm.
He neutral get up, because there's no threat when you're so high head.
Don't ask me about that fair.
So you're playing around with the Zero idea. That was the theme of this game.
Yeah.
You really should be down tilting more, because ice down tilt's obscene.
That's my least used move, probably.
It should not be. It should be right up there. So that's a good fair. That's a good Zair. And then you run away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have... I mean, this is fine. That's a free missile. That's a free fair that you should have done, 4 frames ago. Like, right after you put that missile out, that fair should have come out. So you back up. That's a good position. You get the up tilt. You get the fair. Now you should think about moving forward instead of backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But you have plenty of time. This is the first instance of where missiles are not a good idea. But you get the fair.
I didn't know how good he was specifically at projectiles.
Right, and like in the little write-up that I gave you, it's something that you should have picked up on after the second or third instance of it happening. You should have considered a different option, or considered, mixing up some sort of timing, or not giving it to him for free, because he reflected at least 24 more missiles.
Oh, as well as power shielding.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you got the I believe that was a fair, and you got the ASDI down slide off.
Mhm.
Ganon does not have a bucket break, so Ganon is dead. Ganon was 100% dead here.
And I just.
You just grab ledge. That's all you got to do,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't.
Yeah.
You stood there and did nothing. And then he got behind you and was able to reverse the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Which you took 60 and died for that missed ledge grab. Or you died for this one, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because I'm gonna go for this stupid.
so that was not a bad idea. It's the
Yeah.
problem is he could DI that up tech, and then you were dead 100%.
Yeah. The execution was poor.
Yeah, I mean you should have nared and then like fast fell, but you didn't. You just kind of drifted.
My fastballs are kind of inconsistent / bad. That's one of my critiques of myself.
You just have to work at it. Watching it is a good way to go about it. He really should not have get up there, but you kind of still weren't patient enough. Okay, Saber. So that was a bad fair. Another thing that you need to work on is like get off me moves.
Mhm.
Like again in the write up, I've noted that you picked aggressive options where they either were a bad idea or they were just you were committing to them way too early.
Mhm.
So like, you're gonna get a double jump here, and then you're going for a down air, trying to like.
Oh no, that was later, I think, or maybe it's right after this.
It's right after this or something. I'm pretty sure you die here.
I'm about to do it because I just watched it all. I'm gonna down air and then he's gonna up air me again. No,
so you put the nair out, which is fine. I mean, you died for it.
Yeah.
Because you jumped.
I guess the down air's later.
That jump killed you.
Yeah. I don't know if that back air was supposed to be a nair or not.
The slow walk. Slow-mo saber is really weird as fuck to hear.
I can't hear the game audio.
So like
audio rather.
That whole situation, got the nair, he missed the down air because of the moving platform, and then you're gonna get a missile here because he drops like a dummy. So right there when you got that second hit, you were already putting the missile out, which is okay. Like it's fine. You should have immediately been sprinting over there. But you didn't really get the situation, and then you had to think about it for a second, and then you ran to try to cover whatever. That's the obvious option. This is still a fine position to be in. I don't know what the hell that Zare was.
Yeah.
That Zare was a bad idea. That Zare did it's good that Zare didn't hit, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But, this is still a good position to be in because you still have stage. You didn't really use it this whole set, but you still have stage. So, he immediately respects you. You immediately back up to give him breathing room, which is bad. You put out a bad aerial, or like a late aerial. You try to drop down, and I guess it just didn't work. So you got
hit. I think it was. Yeah.
So that's a tech error. So now you're actually, getting into position. That's another terrible Zare. Up tilts, I mean, it's not the best option, but it can work, especially against like Falcon. So we put out
Yeah, it's
another
definitely better against
bomb.
open.
He reflects it. You get hit by it. So that's second time.
Mm-hmm.
So you put out another missile. He beats it. The missile was way too close to him. You can't really put projectiles out as any character that close unless you're like Falco. But even Falco will die to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's fine to get a charge. This is neutral. You're already back in neutral because there's just nothing you can do. So this is raw neutral. You can put out another missile if you wanted to. He's waiting for you to come to him. He hasn't moved.
Yeah. And here I am in the air about to throw out an obvious bear.
Right. And putting yourself in a readable or bad situation. He has done nothing to make you do it, but you're just doing it because you want to press buttons, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine in friendlies, but in tournament, pressing buttons with no purpose is how people open you up.
Yeah.
So, obvious bear, really bad grab by him, good dash attack. Probably pretty unsafe, but it would have gone through his shield, so you would have crossed him up. So you should be on ledge. You should have been on ledge like
Yeah.
the first wave dash back should have been on ledge. Because at this point he does exactly what he should have done. He was a little bit late. You get hit by that again. Never a big deal. Like, what did you take? Like 7?
Yeah.
So then you traded with him. And again, that's fine because he's in bad position. That trade doesn't kill you, but it kills him. And that's when you're in those situations. Think of it as a checkmate. Think of
Mm-hmm.
it is as he's taking your queen, but you're checkmating him.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's taking your rook, but you're checkmating him. So the stock is over. Doesn't matter if you took another 14%. You killed him.
Okay.
And every situation like that is worth the trade. Every single one. Doesn't matter where. As long as the hit doesn't kill you, it's always worth the trade. So
Right.
you got to look for those. So good bait on the back air. He's still invincible, so I'm not sure what you're doing. So rolling attack, barely out of range. He gets the down air. Got the down air.
Hmm.
So
He
this
does
is
kind of
where
got
the
the down airs though.
down air is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with down air. This is where I think you'd go for the dare, for whatever reason. Oh, maybe not.
No.
Did that already happen? He just
No, it hasn't happened yet. I think it's maybe a different game. I don't remember.
No, you definitely down air poorly in this game. Here, this is where I made a major note.
Yeah.
He starts forward smashing and charging it. This is a free grab, 100% free grab, and you have to recognize that you cannot be greedy. He's at 17%. Get the grab, get the guaranteed, 30% if
Nair
that's
or something.
yeah, whatever you can manage. You jumped all the way back, and like at this point he should have F smashed, and then he can now trade an up air. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I think the initial plan was a bear or a dare, but I don't know.
I keep forgetting that you try to go for up air here.
Well, okay, well, but I do falling up air a lot just because you can like, they're I don't know. That's not a move that Samus always fall with in the multi hit. Like I can L cancel into the instant nair. I don't know, bomb.
There's a reason that Samuses don't usually do it. Let's just stick with that. There is a reason why Samuses don't normally do it. Because it's not good. It's better in like Ultimate, but in this game, that's
in
like,
this situation. I agree with you.
This is bad. This is bad at him being at 100%.
This is not a good example of what the moments I think that I do it well.
So now we reset to kind of neutral. He puts out a aerial. That's a good Zair. That's another good Zair, actually. That's a grab right there, or it's a jab. You shielded before he could even shield.
Yeah.
So you're giving him way too much respect. He was still in hit stun, and you were already in the defensive. You should have put on the pressure that you were trying to put on. So he gets a, you guys both jump out of the shield at the same time and trade nairs. So he covered the platform. You dropped through. That was good. That would have been a decent up air had it hit, but that's fine. You go for a landing that didn't happen. It's just sloppy.
Yeah.
This is the bad downer, I think. We keep trying to pull it out, and it's not happening.
I know.
Okay, so you just get the free recovery because he's giving you the respect, and he doesn't really have any option there, so that's fine. So now he's covering the get up. He was a little early on it, but he's covering the get up. Now he gets the free grab, and now he gets the free up air or fair or whatever you get from that, or tries to. Missiles. Just laughing at Saber. Okay, it's a decent. That's a decent up air. I wish you had done something a little bit faster after it.
Yeah.
He gets the free fair, and you're dead. Okay. 10 seconds is too long for this.
I know.
5 seconds is optimal here. So, missile off the platform is good. But you can see how like he is being patient. He's kind of letting you come to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to really do that.
Yeah.
And seeing that it's working.
Okay, go back and do that. Assess that falling up air. Because it was on his shield. I don't know if it was a shield grabbable. I've never like put much thought into.
I don't think it was. He would have needed to grab armor the down smash, but I don't think Ganon has the.
Like a good one. And he doesn't have any forward facing out of shield options that would have done anything either.
Not on reaction like that on net play.
Right. Yeah.
That was a really bad downer by him. So
was...
that was you faded back and you look. Did you see that he actually started to grab there? He did try to shield grab you, but the jab was really good, and that's fine. It's just that the jab he immediately buffers shield, and then the down smash doesn't do anything. You just made your approach safe, which is fine. Like, here's the thing: is you got the jab, you stuffed the grab, you made the approach safe. You are now too far away for him to do anything out of shield that you couldn't counter, and you're in a way better position than he is. So this is what you should realize there, is that you have stage control, he's already jumping. And you backed up, it's fine, but you... Like, now he's back in a bad position. I don't know what you did, why you did that. Like you went right back to platform and you started charging laser when you could have done what you did in the later games and just drop zone nair.
Yeah.
Or drop zone fair or something. You had every opportunity to kill him right here, and you did this instead.
Yeah, because he always, he was very, like, one thing I noticed rewatching it is he floated, like, immediately almost every time, especially since I wasn't pressuring him at all.
Right, because it's free.
Yeah.
So here you still have another, like, drop zone nair or something like that. You can trade.
Right there.
You should have dropped right there with an invincible attack.
Nair.
So, then boom, you got that. You went to cover... you committed to covering the high option slightly too fast. I'm not going to fault you for that, because then that was more of a 50-50. What the best thing you could have done is kind of short hop back, and then as soon as you see his option of like side B, fast fall to ledge. But that is relatively dangerous because if he grabs you, you both die. So like, it's just a matter of what, you thought you could cover.
Yeah.
But you got to think about, like, if he had upbeat, he'd be where you are now. So do you think you could cover that from, like, a jump off of ledge? Because you would have plenty of time to react.
Um,
You have ledge hop back air or something to cover that.
yeah, probably I would say so. I'm at 0%. I could, yeah, my ledge hop options are available.
So that's more theory crafting in this particular rinse and repeat.
Hmm.
But you know the previous the previous two rinses could have been ended. He could have died twice before this happened.
Yeah, like I probably could have just tourney wintered, like reverse hitbox fair. It's pretty easy to hit.
I mean, there's just a lot of options. Again,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
this third again this third
yeah,
iteration was a 50-50, and you
yeah,
you just picked wrong.
yeah.
Um, from this, you just want to keep it in the back of your head on what he
Mhm.
picked and where you decided to go.
I mean,
And then
this would be like a learning moment for the set, like
right.
against him.
So missile was a bad choice. You should have dropped with nair or back air or
Yeah,
something.
I think it was supposed to be facing the other way, at
It
the very least.
at the very least, but like, what's missile gonna do at this point? Especially ice missile,
set up into fair.
I guess.
It's a decent confirm. Like I can to dash into to fair.
Yeah.
Especially a high percent, and ice missiles have the higher hit stun on them. So
So another double jump into my
yeah,
my people need me double jump. That puts you just in a terrible position. Now you can just fish for up airs, which he does. So that's immediate. Like, can you
I could
explain that
immediately.
up air? Like, can you explain that up air for me?
Oh, that was trying to intercept the dare.
Don't challenge. Don't challenge it. Just get away from it.
Yeah.
You should have just, jumped held into stage and maybe you could have SDI'd like onto stage. But putting yourself in a situation where you're actually making your hitbox closer to his dare was really just not the play.
Yeah, yeah.
So you died.
I could have meteor canceled it. I tried to. I should have meteor canceled it.
That's what they all say about Ganon down there.
Yeah.
That's what they all say. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, I know.
But everyone dies
Never,
anyways.
everyone does.
Full hop by accident, I'm assuming. It's a good fair. Good trying to get coverage. That was another fair that you could have put out, even if you
Hmm.
missed. Air dodge, tether grab, yeah, that would have been another thing he could have done, but, woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's just an example of you picked the aggressive option.
Hmm.
Okay, he's super dead.
Yeah.
So you get charge shot and just chill. I would have just got charge shot all the way instead of going for the balloon, but this ain't friendlies.
I don't always get it full just because I like to be reverse or have that option available.
Fair enough. I can get behind that.
Yeah. Like if it's off stage, it makes my recovery significantly stronger in some situations.
It's not on this stage though.
Well, just being able to turn around.
Yeah, I guess. I would get you. You can use missiles too.
True.
So you don't have a jump right now, I don't think.
I don't think so.
So it's another instance where you put yourself in a bad situation voluntarily.
Hmm. I didn't notice he was too low percent to go for that dash attack. That's one thing I don't pay attention to, or I'm not like training myself towards yet, is being perceptive of percents. Like I mean, I do some, but not nearly enough. It's not
Like,
something I'm like omnipresent of.
you want to know the ballpark of what will and won't work.
Well, no, I just mean looking at what their percent is.
Well,
Like
you gotta
I
look,
could,
but you gotta ballpark what you think you can get away with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I can like if I pay more attention to it, my application is probably better. Like I just don't literally just don't even like if they're at 0%, I'm not always looking at 0%, and I might go for a dumb dash attack or a grab or something like that, something that's obviously going to get CC'd.
So that was taking my previous advice, but doing it.
I mean, at that point, yeah, it didn't really matter.
All right, so what I got for game one is it was unfocused, which we already kind of discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You had some ideas like you were playing around with Zare. You stopped the last two stocks, which was good, but you still wasted, a stock and a half trying to do something that wasn't going to work. That may work in other applications, but it was um it was experimenting where you shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
So went through what you would use Zare for, which is to getting space for yourself or getting space to push your opponent away from you and towards the ledge, which you can work into your game from here
Mm-hmm.
or from wherever you think you are in that game plan. But you do want to have an idea of what you're doing and why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are those Zares going out? And the answer can't be I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They can be I'm experimenting and I'm seeing what works and what doesn't. Because like the idea of a really low Zare to catch like a non-sweet spot and then like somehow being able to run off nair that seems pretty sick. But like
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get to that point experimenting in tournaments. You're going to get to that point experimenting in a lab or against other people in friendlies.
Yeah, yeah.
So most of this game was kind of not being aware of how much danger the opponent was in certain situations and just kind of letting them breathe or live or all of the above. And as you said, edge guarding is kind of where you need
I
to
think that's
put time
yeah. I think that's
into.
probably my weakest,
And
or like
that's
I don't commit to it ever.
you should.
Not ever, but just I don't grab a ledge and go for my invincible options and things like that.
That is how you get early stocks. That's how you
Yeah.
go from having to trade your way to 160% fair mid stage to a kill to gimping somebody at 30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's where your difference is going to be. So I'll bring this up for chat just to make sure that they kind of have this to look at for a split second.
Oh yeah, I was if assuming Kai is still in here, I was gonna send it to him because I was expecting him to ask me for it.
I mean, he can you go ahead and send it to him. I mean, he can follow along. We can even bring him in here if we want to. If he's still like hanging out, he might just watch the VOD. But that's game one, kind of in a nutshell. I went through it myself and put. I think in the future I'll put the actual game time and not the stream time. But
Oh yeah, maybe so.
might be better.
Yeah.
But we'll go on to game two. So he bans big stage and stage you didn't really want to play on. I think Delphinos is a fine stage to go. I would.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Uh-oh. Okay, we're basically there.
There you go.
So Delphinos is fine. Like Delphinos or FD, I'd say are your probably big two. I know Samus kind of suffers from not being able to do like platform missiles, which you don't really do very often. So I mean, give or take, how important that is.
Depending on if I'm able to be mentally focused enough to be aware of my like what I need to be doing in the moment and stuff like that, because I'm definitely capable of it.
Oh, you definitely are, and you show it like in the last game. You do like, as I said in the notes, like there are situations like in chess where it's like it's a mate in 3 if you do it correctly, and you just boom 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 done easy.
Yeah, right. So as far as towards FD, my thoughts for the longest time have been, despite you losing the platforms, Samus is literally like strongest as a ground-based character and as weakest in the air. So it's like if you're playing to only those strengths, like FD is theoretically one of the strong stages, and as long as the other player is not good at exploiting all of your weaknesses on it enough to like make it really bad.
You have missiles. You have full stage Hadokens.
Yeah.
So like
Agreed. Yeah,
like
I like
against
FD typically.
against Ganon, against characters that don't have projectiles, like
Hmm.
you're forcing him to commit to a reflect or
Hmm.
to
Or a
shield
power shoot. Yeah.
or a power shield or anything like that. And like when I throw eggs are not going to reflect directly back into my face, so I can't really
Hmm.
say that I can do the same thing. But if I expect somebody to power shield my egg, I'm in their face when they do it. So
Yeah.
I punish them for an action that tends to be good. You know, you want
Hmm.
to punish people for what you think. How do I put this? If you know what somebody's going to do, you should be able to punish them for it.
Right. That makes sense.
Because it's just like there's no unbeatable option. So if it's gonna happen, and you know it's gonna happen, there's no excuse for you to not be there to slap them for doing it.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you have stream open, but maybe you should with the chat.
Okay.
Um, uh, hat trick. I think you have different.
Will you post the stream link?
Yeah. Um, I'm pretty sure his tag is Hatter, but hat trick is what his tag is on there. Um, so he said that once offstage game is solidified, once you're more confident with offstage game, um, your interactions become like you really begin to grow when you gain confidence off stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like committing off stage is low risk. Hatter and Hat Trick are pretty good. I mean, Hat Trick is think of it like even if your name is super long, people are still going to shorten it if they talk about you. So Hat Trick is fine. Hatter is easier to say. Like
I feel
Tombo,
like Hat Trick and Litebrite are similar.
right? And people are probably will say with Light or LB.
Yeah.
You know, like Tombo Combo is a fucking train wreck. So that's why I shortened it to Tombo.
Yeah. So it's all about the syllables.
Right. So like, I mean, it doesn't have to matter to you whether or not you are gonna be some top player.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, even Mewtwo King is a mouthful, but people say M2K, and that's it,
Yeah.
done. Like they shorten it and they make it sweet, and they make it easy to talk about you. But that's just a personal opinion that people make different tags that are.
Yeah, some people like having their gobbledygook mouthful tags.
I've found that people who don't tend to be, you know, up
Serious.
there. But then you have like Thunder's Rain.
Yeah, true.
Which
but
is like it's kind of, I mean, people say just Thunders, but like it's kind of a cool tag. But then you have people like Flip, or you have Saber, you know, Professor Pro.
It's a long one. Yeah, it just depends.
It just is how it rolls off the tongue and how much people actually talk about it.
And if it's a long tag, if it's actually really good, then they'll give you.
Nick Highland is a shit tag. I will say Nick Highland is a shit tag. Litebrite is a good tag. I don't think you even need to shorten it, honestly. But
I've thought about changing it, but at this point, like enough people already know me. I might as well just stick with it.
Join the club, man. Join the club. I could have been so many other things, but you know.
You especially. I mean, you've been here too long though.
Yeah, it'd be like J-Fist turning to Scarfy.
Yeah.
It's like what the hell, man? It's like Scarfy's a shit tag.
I think he's Wish now, right?
I don't know what he is.
I don't either.
He went by Nut for a little while, or Nutter, playing Diddy Kong.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, that's who was destroying me. Okay, that makes so much more sense. I was like, who is this Diddy Kong? I was like, I'm pretty good at this matchup, or so I thought.
Yeah, he is nutty as a Diddy Kong. He's still got a very strong Sonic too.
Yeah.
He's just got a flowchart, and you know, you figure out the flowchart, you figure out the game plan. So, go back to Slow-Mo Saber. So we go to Delfino's, which is fine. Delfino's FD, I'd say, are your strongest stages with like Green Hill as a backup counter pick if you're confident about it or not.
I think Wario's the better.
Wario, you set yourself up to die at 40%. IMO.
Yeah, well, but
You don't have space. You don't
Yeah,
have
green host.
space to keep him away. If you're Zare's
Hmm,
the entire stage, you really aren't giving yourself any space to breathe.
that's fair.
No,
Ganon's also not doesn't have a super high jump though, so the really high platforms are
right.
give me some space to run.
But you don't want to run. You want to command respect.
True, true.
You want to be in control. So, not blaming you for that, but this, opportunity is you put the missile out. The missile needs to mean something. He reflects the missile. Um, you could be there already, like putting a fair into him, and
Hmm.
even taking the missile to do it, because that's a fine trade. Yeah, like Kai says, Ganon rocks on Warrior. It's like, put yourself in a bad situation. It's like DK on WarioWare.
That's a comfort pick.
It is a comfort pick. That's fine to be a comfort pick, but um, I agree, Hatter. Uh, Samus does what Ganon does slightly better, but not as it doesn't hit as hard. So like if Ganon does, has a better close quarters interaction, you're likely to die. Whereas if you win that interaction, he's likely to not.
True.
So you come into a situation where it's not technically the best, but it is like
Workable.
it's workable. But you have to have the skill gap. Cat, why are you taking my chair? Why are you taking my chair? Look at this kitty cat. This kitty cat jumps up on my chair as soon as I get up. As soon as I get
Mine
up,
just
she gets up.
mine just barged into my door.
It's definitely gonna be player dependent. It's gonna be like matchup first, then player. Matchup is
Hmm.
only gonna dictate how you tend to play the matchup.
Hmm.
Once you realize that the player is doing something, that you have counterplay for or don't have counterplay for, like this Ganon is reflecting more than any other Ganon I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, this Ganon's using reflect more than any other Ganon in existence. So what you do is you got to tailor your game around, you
Hmm.
know, to counteract it or to punish it or whatever. If you decided that, okay, I'm gonna put this missile out, but I'm gonna follow it with like a running, I don't know, short hop, fast fall down air if he reflects it, and you do that like twice, he'll stop reflecting.
Hmm.
Because if you're punishing the option that he's doing, then he's going to think, oh well, that's a bad option. I keep getting punished for it, so I should respect missile a different way.
And if he's not good enough to stop doing it, then I just keep punishing it.
Correct. You know, if you can form move checkmate somebody over and over again, then you might as well.
Yeah.
Guy Rigby says you can roll under it, which you can. You can roll under it and like down smash.
Hmm.
Like unless you're putting out like super low missiles, you can duck under them, which is probably the best counterplay if you're like wanting to make that the counterplay. But that's you have to have the plan to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So he reflects this. He is close enough to put out a fair, and he does put out a nair instead, but you put out a missile. It's just a really bad close range missile, and you take 60 for it.
Yeah.
Or close. You take 45, but you're in a bad position now. And then he's going to go for another. That was a really bad down air. So there's where you take the 60.
Hmm.
And
There's
now
your down there.
then you have to run away, and he has to recover. And now you know, this is a decent idea. This drop nair. It was really dangerous, but it is there.
Hmm.
So that up B to get out of pressure, which is fine. You drop shield there, which is why you got hit. And I think part of why you got hit by that other up air is you took kind of a Hatter. I'm not sure. I think it would be really tight.
Let's see. Can Samus up be able to show between Ganon gems? It would definitely be tight.
So I want to go over that again. So Nair, he stuff. It'd be tight. You had enough time to angle your shield, so that does tell me that you did have enough time to put something out.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
far as like a quick option like up, he had a shield.
yeah.
So he gets the nair. You should have been DIing away. You did not. You died. You either DI'd into him or you started to drift into him, and you wanted to like double jump like nair or something like that. So you put out a
Mhm.
jump right there and you get hit. Now you have no jump. You put out the fair to stuff whatever option, and then you, I think,
Missile, drop missile.
missile drop, get the fair. You should have definitely. This is an instance where percent looking at percent would have helped you. You should have gotten
Exactly.
the fair, and then maybe if you
Fade back.
really, you should have held back and stayed on the platform. Or if you really wanted a second fair, you could have ledge canceled into another fair
Hmm.
or into a
Well, that
nair or
was
something.
yeah. That well, the Nair was the in the moment my like idea, but
You just
the
didn't have enough
percent, yeah,
time, and
yeah,
the percent is what you should have been paying attention to it, and you should have taken that fair and backed up,
right.
or done that fair and backed up, not taken it. So he gets the up air. You put out a missile to cover your recovery. He shields it. You have, you know, you get there back for free. You took the aggressive option. He was ready for it.
Hmm.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not going to fault you for it. You do end up recovering from this, which is good. And that kind of, however patient he was or wasn't, it's hard to edgeguard Samus like this. So I, you know,
I mean, I have so many options.
I wouldn't say it's a given, but I would say it's something that is very difficult.
Yeah.
So you see how he's still maintaining like this, keeping you in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I had advantage. I don't know if I wanted to dash attack there or what. I had a follow up. It looked like at least.
So you get out of there. You waveland away just to be cool.
Hmm.
Get the fair. Should have dropped down missile immediately, which
Just slow.
a little bit slow. That was a really bad missile. You should have been closing the distance with that first missile.
Yeah.
You get the fair, and this is where you commit to a fair. You commit to a fair in there right here. This is where
And I think I fade back.
you do.
Yeah.
You fade back fair because you got
Oh yeah,
really
if I
scared
didn't
of
do
him.
that. Yeah.
He was dead if you
Yeah.
didn't fade back. So now you really don't have any way of covering him. He goes too low, and that's that there.
Hmm.
So you get
And then I'm
either
about to jump into him.
yeah. So what a lot of like top level players will do is when their opponent is on drops from a respawn platform, they'll go to ledge and they'll get their own invincibility and grab ledge, like regrab
Hmm.
ledge. You'll see like Noah do that, like Nog do that. You'll see Flip do that. You'll see Thunders do that. I mean,
Yeah,
going
I
to
mean,
ledge to wait out.
you can just say Mewtwo King.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Like you can't really say it's bad. So, and then you jump into him with a back air that would have hit Invincible Ganon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of hitting people right as they're out of invincibility, so I'm not gonna throw stones in that way. But
It's a tight line to
well, you
back.
just gotta be smart about it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that 2 seconds is a little bit longer than I think it is.
Right. Well, you gotta remember how hitboxes behave in this game. They're persistent, so if you put out a long hitbox,
And the invincibility ends. Yeah.
you still hit them. So it's good to know. Good to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So that was a bad up air. Um, hard to point it out like constantly because it is something that you'll kind of pick up as you go along. There are instances in this game where it is a rock paper scissors, or it is kind of like a poker game, where the person who kind of plays their hand first will lose. And you'll see this a lot in the start of the third game and some of this game, where he just waits for you to pick an option and then kills you for it.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't actually have to have the cards; he just has to smack you when you reveal yours.
Right. Right. And I mean, Ganon, that's kind of like one of his main strategies.
So he shield pokes you there, you slide off. That's fine, you should kind of drop to ledge like you do, that's good.
And then, yeah, this is
He
where
is dead here if you go back to ledge, which you didn't do.
just the exact opposite.
Like,
I mean, yeah, he immediately floats. I literally, like, hold ledge, nair, or bear.
yeah, hold ledge bear, like, even if you were to, like, wave dash off, not even grab ledge, and, like, nair him, like, you put him into a situation where he's, you know, he has to upbeat to ledge, not to stage.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 30, which, like, you won't go make him go far, but this is a situation where you either kill him or you give him 70% for recovering.
Yeah.
But you gave him all the space in the world to get back. You just let him breathe too much. So it's a good tech. It's gonna be that would have been an amazing back air.
Yeah.
Oh. So recovering options that he hasn't done because he's not doing what you think he will.
Right,
You
right.
see how good that down tilt is?
That put him really far away.
Put him so far away, and he took like
14%.
ridiculous.
Yep.
This move is insane.
Yeah, I need to use it more. You're right.
Hatter's like, okay, what is actually this hitbox? Yes, it's nuts. That cloud is the hitbox. It is obscene. It's really good.
It is 2 character lengths.
It's 2 wave dash lengths.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a really good tool, and you should be using it constantly. Okay, so waited it out, good. Good nair out of shield. Put yourself in a bad situation, but well, not really bad. I mean, that's fine to put fair on shield.
Yeah, I didn't space it great.
No, but he was expecting it is the thing. He was waiting for you to put it out.
Yeah.
That's a fine down air. I really wish you had down aired while going towards the opposite side of the platform so that you ledge cancel back air.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just something for you to think about in practice.
Yeah.
So you get the back air anyways. He ASDIs down, gets ledge, which is what he should have done for, slide off DI. Good power shield. He does the running forward method, which is really good. You see how he's kind of just pushing you, like not even.
Mm-hmm.
He's making you respect him all the way to the point where you have nowhere to go.
Yeah. I mean, like trades are my only option.
Right, trade or respect go to ledge or something.
Yeah.
You have to beat him, and you did. You got the reflect. You get hit by it. He immediately goes after it like you should be doing with your missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to do a reflect, and then he goes after you. You land, and you have no lag.
Yeah.
So you don't really have an excuse to not be. I don't know. Did you ever play basketball growing up?
No.
No. So there's a thing in basketball where you want to follow your shot. So if you take a shot at the basket, you want to be the one who gets the rebound in case you miss.
Okay, sure.
So you take the shot and you immediately move to a point where if you missed, you could be in the boards and you could jump and get your own ball and put the ball back up.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's the same thing in that where you want to follow your shot to be the one to get the rebound, to be the one to get the punish.
Okay.
Yes, Hatter, shield stopping, shield. You just kill yourself here.
I could have recovered from that.
You could have.
I missed the wall jump.
The wall jump, the up B, all of them.
Well, no, I didn't have enough. I couldn't just upbeat. I had to do wall jump. The landing or the end lag on fairs, I was pretty far down before I was actionable.
Fair enough. Ha.
I was intending on landing. I didn't know I was gonna miss it.
Powder shield drop, shield stopping, and shield slides are really good for power shielding. Shield slides in general are amazing for dealing with projectiles. Okay, so he actually gets hit by that one. Up tilt wasn't a bad decision. You probably should have been closer to ledge.
Yeah.
Get reverse back air into missile. He's going to immediately float. Reflect missile. He breaks the missile, which is better for you. This is a good nair. And then you wall jump to get back, which is excellent.
I mean, yeah, that's like ideal.
This is what you should be doing anytime he goes off stage, is just going for stuff like this. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is he choke slams you into death.
Right.
Which he's not going to want to do 4 times.
Right.
So this is good. That's exactly what you should be doing every time you put a missile out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not directly into a shield, but like.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to be on the other side of the shield.
But
drifting.
Down air might not be the play. I don't know what has low lag. Up air might even be fine.
It's kind of a mix-up.
Okay.
Or at least that's how I usually treat it.
I don't know what is the most positive. I don't know the frame data. I just know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was you should have reacted to that.
Yeah.
Air dodge for sure.
Super low dare is the most positive thing Samus has, I believe.
Okay. You gotta know what you want to follow that up with.
Yeah.
I don't hate the up airs on the platform, but I don't like you standing there taking a fair for free.
Mm-hmm.
But notice how patient he's willing to play. Like, he's not trying to do anything. See, he just waited for you to dash attack.
Yeah.
And now he approaches because you're on the ground because it's free. And he puts you in the corner, and now he realized the roll, so now he gets another dash attack. Probably should have picked any other option that kept you in the corner, like a forward tilt, but he did the correct thing all the way up until that point and kept you, put you in the corner and reacted to your he did a tech read.
Mm-hmm.
So he just waited for you to down air there. And you can see how patient he is, just willing to be where he needs to be.
Just get that perfect spacing. Yeah.
Where he needs to be. So you played your hand first, so he just picks the correct answer out of his own playbook to cover that option. And the more you do that, is the more you're going to, get good at it. That's a really sick nair.
That was so close.
I really wish it hit, because that was actually super sick.
Oh, I hit those.
Good. I mean, they're pretty cool. So this is a tech situation.
This was totally unintentional and it worked out.
What
the forward smash. That's charging.
Oh yeah, because he just does the dummy option and goes, "I got you, friend." But like, no, you shouldn't have had an action at that point. If you put him in a tech situation and you know that he's not like I don't remember what it's called. It's like a tech lock or something like that, where if you press the shield button.
Oh, if you hard press, you're locked out for 40 seconds.
Yeah,
or 40 frames, rather.
If it's not one of those, then you don't have a guaranteed option.
Right.
What's better is you follow him to the platform, and then tech chase what his option is, because he didn't slide off there. He just, he found the platform and he did a neutral get up.
I think that was supposed to be a short hop fair. I mean, guessing.
Probably, but the fair still would have missed. Is my point. It's because you fair to miss tech.
Yeah.
And like, the fair was too soon after, so he reflects that. For whatever reason, it blows up. I guess just timer. You didn't commit again.
If as far as the missiles that reflecting, that's one thing I haven't mentioned yet. A little bit of counterplay to ice missiles specifically is when they get power shielded or reflected, the power missiles are pretty short, so I can not like I'm not perfect at it or anything, but I can kind of anticipate that I'm not going to get hit by it, um, and it'll blow up before it even gets to me. So
Okay. You should be, if you can use that, you can. You
yeah,
should
yeah,
use
yeah.
that as the
I
thing.
try to. I try to. I'm working on it. It's something I've noticed recently.
So that whole sequence where you put out a missile and then you fared twice. That was
Mm.
fine. I don't know if you want to go back and watch that because you got up with a missile, and then you covered him dropping. This is where you should already be off stage naring him, and you do, and you traded, and look what happened.
Yeah.
He should be dead. This was a bit ambiguous, so it's again a thing that I'm not gonna really hold against you. But right here, he up B's, he's dead. He cannot make it back to stage.
Oh wait, you don't think so?
No,
Oh
it's very ambiguous. So like
yeah.
it's okay that you made that decision to get off because like it was ambiguous. You didn't cover, what you should have been covering
Yeah.
at that point. But another reflect, another
See.
moment where it doesn't hit you. You still reacted as though it did though.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Because it looks like it's close.
you telling me that it's a counterplay, it only goes as far as you. So good Zaire. Actually, not the great Zaire, but it's okay. An okay Zaire given the situation. Probably should have been back a bit more, but you could have picked a different option. Sadie. I don't know
He
what
got
Saber's saying.
oh.
So you get the charge shot to get him off of the ledge so that you can have neutral. So textbook raw neutral situation. He sits and waits for you there. He's able to get the shield out. I don't know what you're doing missiling that close to him.
Yeah.
It's a good nair out of shield. I'm pretty sure it kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you kind of just waited to be put
Yeah.
in. Like you should have been on ledge or something like that, not
Should've
immediately
yeah.
put yourself in the corner. For those of you guys who don't know, this is Saber really slow in the background, and it's definitely a little odd to listen to. But we're going over Litebrite's set against Nick Highland, who I've never heard of. But
yeah, I don't know anything about him either. But he's
really bad down air, fair nair. He's at nothing.
Yeah.
Down air's not gonna do shit.
Oh yeah, another instance of definitely not looking at percent.
Like down air will do something to break CC, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think when he's on the ground. But like
I
that situation, you just want him away from you. So like fair nair, for sure. You're wanting way too much with a down air.
Mm-hmm.
This whole situation is just like asking to be killed. Oh no. So good jump out. Fair is fine. And there's also an option. I'm not sure why you're charging in that situation. Probably like was that a misinput, or was that supposed to be like a
sometimes I charge bait. I don't know.
It's fine to do sometimes when opponent actually can be baited into doing something. When he's
Yeah, yeah,
laying on the
it's
platform, you're just wasting the opportunity
well,
to improve your position.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm sacrificing that, or I'm not thinking of it. I'm getting a little bit of charge just for the purpose of that, while also not fully charging it from what I mentioned earlier, and not even considering stage position. So that's what it is. So I guess it has purpose, but not a good purpose.
Yeah, most the trade-off is you're putting
It's like
yourself
wasting
you're
my time.
it's kind of playing a long game that you're not, guaranteeing yourself of having.
Right, right, right. Charge shot's not that great.
Because we can see, like, you lose this game, and I guarantee you it's before you can put a charge shot out. So every
Mhm.
time that you're charging um, your charge shot while not getting stage was all worthless.
Yeah,
Because you can get charge shot naturally anytime you get them off stage.
right.
Like when I play DK, if I'm like not going hard to the paint, because I don't think DK can really do that against every character. If I were to get, you know, Samus as an option, you're dead right here because you missed the fair, and that's just what happens. I don't think any idea I would have saved you there.
No, I don't think so either.
But like if I were to get a Samus off stage, like what am I gonna do to go kill a Samus? So I get charged. I can charge punch during
Oh yeah,
that time.
that's one of the things that's I hate most about, like, some people abuse the crap out of that against Samus and me. It's annoying. Just any charge character.
Well, like if I'm gonna knock you off stage, you can bomb out there forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can use that time to charge up, and then I'll grab ledge or something.
It was the worst with Wario before they changed his waft mechanic.
Right.
Like that was just, oh my god, what a hard matchup for that reason alone.
So he bans out FD, which he should have done in the first place probably,
Yeah.
because I don't think Dreamland is that bad for Ganon,
I mean, I would never pick Dreamland, I don't think.
which is probably what he realized, and he banned the one stage that you probably should be paramount going to. But in this situation, you tend to you go to Battlefield, which is fine.
It's just, yeah,
It's a neutral stage. It's you could have probably had a better counter pick, but ultimately it's not a big deal.
Should have gone to Wario Land.
According to according to yourself, my friend.
Hey, if we watch the Wario Land game that I sent in Discord, you'll see.
We can watch it. We've been at it for a little hour and 15 minutes, so
Yeah, I don't. And you, whenever you're ready to call it, we've already gone through. Which I mean, we're still going through this one.
This stock was a brutal set of you just flailing your limbs and him just taking you for a ride every single time you did.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that he's not chasing you. I mean, you don't tend to do this either, but like it's something just to understand about what keeping stage means.
Mm-hmm.
Is he puts you in a bad situation where you don't have a double jump and you have to come back to stage.
Right.
So he doesn't have to play to hit you, he just has to play to defend stage.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, you can swap between the two anytime you want. But like you have to realize what your opponent wants to do. Obviously you want to get back to stage, but you also kind of want to hit him as you're coming down, if you can, because that's what you've shown that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So here you'd immediately
just
put out an air because you want to aggressively get that space back. And it's lazy. I mean, it ends up being pretty lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So he just lets you put it out, and then he gets a free up air. You slide off, you get, theoretically you get that almost immediately. But you can see he's just kind of holding space around where he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Up B's good, so you get past it. Jab, up air.
Yeah.
You bomb. You should have jumped.
You think I should have jumped right there?
Oh, 100. You would have gotten out.
Oh wait, I thought you meant just right here when he hit me off stage.
No,
Like,
right when he put that. If we can. So. Up is good tool. You back to center stage. You are now safe. You give him a little bit of space to reset neutral, which is fine. You do up air, nair, which is again safe. Then he gets a jab.
and this is where I bombed.
This is where you jump. You bombed right here. See?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Again, like aggressive option when like you're guaranteed to take damage if you try to challenge it.
I don't think it was meant to be aggressive. Well, could have been. I don't think it was intended. It was more so probably to preserve my jump, but I don't know.
It would have been better for you just get out of the situation.
Yeah.
So drop through platform with no aerial. It's a good wave land.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
It's a bad missile. You can see how much he's just letting you just put moves out so that he can punish them. Back air, which was late. Up air.
He knows I'm just going to put myself within his range.
Yeah, for free. Now he's putting pressure on you.
And he doesn't even have to worry about my moves.
Nope. Boot into not to miss turnaround grab. Back air. And you can see how little effort he was putting into all of that. It's just shield at the right time, get the hit that you need to. You know, it's not complicated. It's not pretty. But
yeah,
when he's the one who should be running at you, and Ganon's not very good at that. Like, he's already proven that he's dealing with missiles really well, so like you have to kind of figure out what you need to work around it. Like he can't power shield Zaire. It'd be an option to keep him away.
Yeah.
But you want him to be coming at you, not the other way around. But he's getting you to chase him. Boom.
Yeah.
And then he does a tech chase, which was really good.
Which, I mean, he's pretty hesitant with his edge guards as well. I'd say, I mean...
He is. I mean, that's typical.
Yeah, I think that displays our level pretty well.
The funny thing about, like, mid-level is that players tend to be really good at single things. Like, single aspects of the game. I always compare, like, playing all of melee or PM at once is like playing chess on several boards. Just because you can play chess really well on one board doesn't mean you're still playing on those other boards. So like if somebody's really good at pressing buttons, let's say there's a board that's just for tech skill and they're really good there, I might just outposition them really hard and hit them with dumb moves because they're not actually playing the game on that board. You know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So mid-level players, when they match up, sometimes it's a complete wash because one player is just slightly better, or even just, playing a positional game where you're trying to play a punish game or you're trying to play like a rushdown game when they're playing a zoning game better. And like mid-level players can just fucking wreck each other.
Yeah.
Like just for not really any good reason other than like they're playing one aspect of the game and you're playing a different one, and they're just beating your ass on one board.
Yeah, exactly. I really like that. Was a good description of mid-level.
But that's just how like mid versus high level will
it's
go.
It's just not rounded out. Like I'm missing. Like I'd say my recovery and neutral are like relatively strong. Like those are the areas where I keep up with like players like you and others. But then my punish game and edge guarding is just I cannot keep up.
I mean, punish game is only as far as what your goal is. Like,
yeah.
if your goal for the moment is to tack on 60% just so that you can comfortably kill easily, then that's what you're going to do, and you should keep people close to do that. But if your goal is, like in this matchup, kill as soon as possible, get him off stage, kill him, then it doesn't matter what percent he's at. You should. You're playing a positional game at that point. You're playing a get away from me, get towards ledge so that I can nair you. And like, just having that idea is enough. But you know, it's like I told Kai at one point. If you don't have a plan, you're just pressing buttons.
Right.
If you don't have a goal in mind, you're just pressing buttons. You don't have a purpose behind what your inputs are doing. Then, like,
my understanding of just like high level, not just anything, has kind of become like, and obviously it's not every single moment, but as many moments as you can really be in control of are fully intentioned.
I mean, you want to be in intention 100% of the time.
Well, I mean, but like you said, there are some moments where you just can't. I mean, I guess you can have intent, but
you can't do anything, so you want to do the best possible thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
So a lot of the times in those situations, the best possible thing is to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is something that I see mid-level players do. Is you'll have a situation where it's like you can't go out on them, but you have some time to wait before you can. The worst thing you can do is start picking options before you're ready to, and then you showed your hand. You've already made your move.
Yeah.
You know, another chess example, like if I were to set up a trap for you to fall into, why would I ever spring the trap early? Like, if you're not going to make the move that I want you to make, then the trap doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, so don't spring the trap before the trap actually works. Don't do moves that mean nothing. You don't want to. You know, you can see my cursor. You don't want to be on top platform or not. You want to be on side platform, faring in front of you when he's all the way down here. That doesn't do anything for you. That just puts you in a situation where you've committed to something where you didn't need to. It's not always like a death sentence, or it's not always giving up the situation, but it is unnecessary. And you
so much slop to clean up.
It's just you want to press buttons, and it's something that you have to fight yourself on. Like, you don't want to stand there and do nothing because it's boring, but
right, yeah,
you realize that you hit a point where you realize that the moment you hit the move when you need to hit it is more important than keeping your fingers moving.
I'd like to thoughts I've had recently is I'm planning on trying to channel my inner Morse code, at least more of it.
Well, Morse code is the one to watch because he's doing exactly what I'm telling you to do.
Exactly. That's what
he controls stage like a master. He is a master at controlling space and controlling stage, and just not letting you past him. He pushes you off the stage, and then he's just like, "This is mine now, and you're gonna have to fight me to get back home."
Yeah, he's able to anticipate. Like, it's hard to mix him. Very hard to mix him.
Oh, it's because he's waiting. He's waiting at all times.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard to. It's hard. It's like, and I know you know.
Oh, of course, and this is the number one piece of advice I can give mid-level players who are trying to get to high level is watch what you're doing and wait for those things to matter. Because I don't care if your fingers can move faster than your head. It just means you're not thinking.
Yeah, that is good advice. That's at least like, well,
Hatter's like, we're out here playing pro bass fishing while Morse is actually out on the lake with a pole. And you know, that's an apt comparison for, you know, how some people play characters versus how the best play the character, or how some people play this game versus how the best play the game. You know, I'm here describing this game as 7-layer chess, and you know, it would take me a book to explain. I mean, this is what I'm trying to do in my spare time, is write this stupid book. But like, it would take me a book to explain what those are and why they matter.
Yeah, because there's so much context to be described.
It's context. It's like, it's really hard to illustrate things.
It is.
because it's conceptual. I'm a firm believer that we follow rules that we don't know we're following before we can
make a decision on if
well,
we want to follow.
well no well like I said with the seven like chess boards in front of you, you don't even know you're playing some of those. You don't even know that you're actually moving those pieces before you can talk about whether you're doing it or not. Like you're still doing it. Like you're still playing with a rhythm. You're still playing a pressure game. You're still playing a stage controlled game. You're just not doing it with any purpose. You're not doing it with any awareness.
Right.
But you're still playing it because your opponent's playing it and they're beating you in it. You know. Hatter, once you have the vaccination, you don't have to care about anybody else's health. That's the point of a vaccination. You don't get sick. If somebody else gets sick, that's on them. Alright, so you're getting charged, it's fine. This is a raw neutral, you're allowing a raw neutral. Zaire is good there, he was expecting a missile. I don't know why you shielded after he shielded. So, good nair into
don't know
exactly what I told you. Well, you covered probably a tourney winner, which is okay, but that's like, you know, you want to cover the most possible things.
Yeah.
With the least possible effort, and that's a super hard read.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't kill.
Mm-hmm. It might kill.
It might, but that's if you had really bad DI.
Yeah. I mean, it'd kill with like a potential edge guard, yeah.
I mean, it would put him in an edge guard situation, but still, like, you're still committing really hard to a single option versus soft committal to 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, bad nair.
Mm-hmm.
He totally misses, so you got lucky. You covered the past. Missile way too close. I think you probably wanted to fall through missile, but you missed the fall through.
Yeah.
So you just see how, like, he's just standing there menacingly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just being in a good position to catch mistakes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see any, so it's okay, I'm just go back to ledge and cover what I can on stage. Ultimately, he actually committed a bit too much to that float, which is why you made it all the way back to center stage. So, run off, back air to cover an approach. So this is where, like, you're starting to make him come to you, or at least he's gotten bored of making you come to him. Because that does happen, as people just get bored of the game plan. And he may not have even known that he was doing this game plan consciously. He might have just realized that he might have just, like, you know, what I said earlier. He some part of his subconscious realized it was the best plan, so he started doing it.
Yeah.
And the moment you can bring that to the forefront and tell yourself what you're doing, like, you're doing this just for yourself. You don't even need me for this. Just doing this and watching your decisions is crazy valuable if you're willing to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can, like, hopefully you can kind of walk through what you were thinking in the moment.
Yeah, I definitely can. I mean, for the most part, I know what's going on there. With the moments that I can't tell you, or the moments that I can't tell myself. So, but for the most part, yeah, I absolutely know what's going on, and like why I make certain decisions.
Well, you know where your tech mistakes are, and you can be honest. You can be honest with yourself on what was a tech mistake and what was a bad decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've just, as of the past month and a half, started recording all my sessions and stuff, so I'm building on my catalog of footage.
Excellent. So he was expecting. See how he was expecting a missile.
Charge shot missile, yeah.
Or yeah. So you.
That was kind of like a charge shot bait that maybe worked out.
Which, like, you know, I know for a fact that all those missiles weren't conditioning, but it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been conditioning. You could have conditioned him, but I don't think he ever capes off stage again after this moment.
Yeah.
Now he does. He only has 3 more stocks to go, so it doesn't really matter. But You get that punish, and you jump off and do that and get the kill for it, which is exactly what you should have done. That's one of the examples of, you know, that's the checkmate, and you baited a bad move, and you just swoop in and get it.
Yeah.
I got you now. He's giving you a lot of respect on the ledge.
Yeah, because he
Like,
knows I'm going to go low. He doesn't know how to deal with it.
he doesn't know how to deal with it, but you can see that instead of committing to a bad option, like instead of saying YOLO and just going for it, he's just, okay, I'm gonna cover the next best thing, which everyone has to do ledge options.
Mm-hmm.
Every character has to do ledge options. It doesn't matter what character you play. So, you know, he's gonna just move that situation to there. So this is a good follow up. A little late, but you know you know, it's like you're listening to me right now and doing it real time.
Yeah.
This game is where I actually saw Litebrite the player, like, pop out of the shell. Like, look at this. You know, that fair should have come out immediately.
Yeah.
But again, like you're following your shot. That was a down tilt for sure, because his hand comes up over his head. That's a hurt box.
Yeah, that's something I need to study some of the was it Rukai data.
Well, some of it's data and some of it's just like you
Well,
have free options that punish imperfection.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll put out a Yoshi down tilt even if it's not gonna hit, just in case they're not perfect, I kill them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's unfair.
Yeah.
That's unfair, but it's a tool and I use it because it's just, you know, it's really good.
Yeah.
So if I can force perfection, then all of a sudden now I'm, you know, snagging ledge from people, or I'm doing offstage edge guards and stuff because I'm forcing them to recover exactly how I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And Samus has the same kind of stuff. Down tilt's insane. Down smash is good. You have up tilt. You can put bombs at the edge. You know, you can try that. I mean, it might not be a good idea. You might have to work on it, but it is an option. So neutral reset, kind of. He rolls into you. You get the nair, which you should. He tech rolls in. Power shields.
Yeah. That should have just been me. I should have known in that moment that missile wasn't a good option based off of.
It's hard to say because the missile was a good option for any other tech choice other than tech in.
True.
Because it keeps him back there.
Yeah.
But I think part of that is the fact that when you got, was it a missile that knocked him away or like a fair? It was a nair. You backed up with that nair. You immediately like went past center stage and tried to reset neutral again. Mostly as a just in case you didn't hit the nair, I think.
Yeah. Let's see.
So you gave him the room to roll in, and that's why the missile was bad. But complicated situation. The missile was good until it was bad.
Yeah.
So, drop through with aerial. Up air, which is questionable. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I like the implication of the move.
Well, in that situation, like, what was bad about it? Like, what would he have done?
It didn't net you anything.
Damage, pressure.
Damage is nothing.
I mean, but it forces him to stand in that same position. He can't do anything else, right? While I'm in the process of, like, if I didn't do the up air, I would have just empty jumped back to where I was going anyways.
So you get the nair, so you back up, which gives him the space to roll in.
Yeah.
He shielded the moment he could, so the power shield wasn't necessarily intentional.
Okay.
So he went for the up air. that's, you could have, well, that's a different situation here. So fair, slide off.
Now, okay, and now I see what you mean as far as I couldn't tell you if my game plan from when I jumped off the stage was to jump back up with an up air or not. I think I just reacted to what he's doing right now, and that's the only thing I knew would hit him.
Like up air, you have up air and you have,
Because I already used the jump right here.
up air, you have, maybe you have bomb for something super complicated. You definitely have up B. Up B would have been a better option.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I
Or,
think
I
if,
should have just gone down and just not even attacked.
like, yeah, I mean that too, because like, yeah, you get like, what was that, 6 or 7%, maybe
Yeah.
4%. You're still having to land, and he's out of hit stun like at the same time, so you don't really get anything from it.
Yeah, you're right.
Like up B probably would have been better. I think if you want to do like up airs on platform, you can do something similar to what I do as Yoshi with down airs, where I go all the way up and I do it on shield and then I ledge cancel, do something. That might be something that you try, where you literally go the whole way up. And I think up air moves your collision box so that you don't actually have to go super high up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like ledge cancel into something.
Well, the real smart thing to do would be to learn the up air interrupts on platform and just learn like tech chase follow ups from that and stuff.
It's just food for thought. I mean,
yeah,
you don't want to do things that don't do much for you. Like getting percent only matters when you're getting like 20 or more. Like
sure,
you can't justify
nickel and diming. Just
yeah, it's not worth it.
No, I mean I don't have Fox Laser and melee. I get you mean.
Yeah. And you're not constantly being able to up bear them like a Fox Laser can tack damage on.
Exactly. It's not my damaging move.
Hatter agrees. If percent isn't coming with anything else, then it's irrelevant. And I completely agree with it. You'd be surprised how many times. I mean, I've fought you. You know how many times I'm at like 170, and I'm still killing you. And I'm just getting a punish. And I'm like, well, I might die in one hit, but you're going to die in 3.
Yeah.
My percent doesn't change what my controls do, except for like on ledge, so I don't have to worry about percent. You're lucky enough to get the reverse fair there. So it does net you something, but it's kind of like next interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So he reflects, as usual, because he was expecting it. You get the fair because he messed up something. I think he went for an up smash, and it was just not a good option. You nair him, which is excellent. He is dead.
And I can't remember if I hold ledge or not. I think I do.
You do. Yeah. Another checkmate.
Yeah, that's the Ganon killer situation.
Which you were in at least 6 other times before this moment.
Yeah.
So like, it's a now you know kind of thing, and you did adapt to it, but you didn't have that in your back pocket already.
Yeah.
Which is this is definitely not the first time you fought a Ganon in your whole life.
Oh, well, if we watch the Wario Land game, like I was absolutely on, like I was on tilt and iced out for this game because I had not gotten to play my winter set. So, and the I don't know, just the amount of time in between my games was just very long. So I was just not, and I wasn't warming up because I was like anticipating potentially just having to play at any moment. So, I've had those. I didn't discover that this set, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know, and people don't tend to do that during sets like this. I'm just saying it should have been
something I was going for in every moment I had it.
Maybe not going for every time, but you know what I mean. It's something that you should have had in your back pocket to start off with.
There were too many moments. I mean, like the game 1, whenever I had the like really long punish sequence, like that should have ended the stop. Well, no, that one I think maybe was a ledge grab or ledge hold.
It was a ledge hold.
I can like visualize the moment you're describing.
So right here, if you were to go a little bit higher, I think you could have like add something. It's just food for thought. Like,
Hmm.
here, this is where you got,
Well, so in those situations, if I learn the aerial interrupts, then I can mix up those two options.
right.
I can either up air or I can instant land on platform and grab or whatever.
So you just died here.
Yeah,
And that was the set.
that was the set.
Okay, Saber, I'm tired of listening to you. So, like, obviously,
Overall,
this is
I have to
just,
learn from.
it's, you do have a learning experience from it.
Yeah,
Um, so, my overall conclusion was, you just need to create a framework for yourself
yeah.
that you have a game plan that is general,
Hmm.
which can be as simple as I want to tack on 70% and F smash you. That's what Morse code does, in a general sense. I
I
mean,
also think I'm going to be switching back to fire and just alternating when I choose at some point soon. I think I'm done being the ice Samus.
it's up to you. I mean, if you start using down tilt more, you might change your mind.
That's true. Fire F smash is just I miss it.
And I mean, that's fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Experiment in friendlies and get a game plan down, get a flow chart that um, you can loosely follow,
Hmm.
so that you don't have a game one like that where you're just completely up in the air, don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's like, I mean, losing game one is one thing, and like, but for it to be a wash and you have to like reformulate the entire set, and it's like starting the set from game one again, game two.
Yeah, you put yourself behind the eight ball. Hatter,
Yeah.
yes, you can taunt cancel it.
Yeah,
It's
there's been, it's
it's a.
okay.
I mean, you don't get it. What do you get it on frame one or do you get it on like frame
No, it's
three?
like frame 17.
Okay, so you can
It's
taunt
not,
cancel it, but it's not
it's
consistent
not,
unless you're
it's
consistent
not
with it.
fast, and it's not like an easy taunt cancel compared to actually get the switch. Like it's easy enough to do. Like if they're off stage, I can just do it. I can either taunt cancel it or I can just do it. But it's not like a fast enough taunt cancel to really like worry about combos or any kind of follow ups.
Well, I mean, if you think of it in terms of you're controlling stage and you just reach that 70% mark, and you're like, okay, time to switch. You knock them
Yeah,
away with a get off me move, switch real quick, and then
yeah.
go at
I
it
think it'll also be player slash matchup dependent. Like
for
with
sure.
I secretly think it's a really good tool against Falcon that people don't realize. Um,
I'm sure. I mean,
but yeah, I get what you mean.
but let's
Um,
see. So goal setting need to happen. You need to
yeah.
create. I mean, I see your identity in games
Mhm.
like Game 3 in those good moments, but you have to have that all the time,
Yeah.
and that's what will get you on that path that you want to be on, being a top player,
Hmm.
is having that identity with the character and having those ideas that nobody else has thought of
Hmm. Hmm.
and being able to execute them. That's what matters, is
Yeah.
the execution. And you have to be
Yeah.
able to do what everyone else can do, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Do the good things that are going to work as well as yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean.
So we've already touched on that. Is if you don't have a game plan to start off with, you're setting yourself to have to formulate one on the fly, which people are not good at.
Right.
People who are good at that tend to be
The really good
the
people.
really the mangoes of the game, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's like mangoes. I mean, I can't think. Yeah, I can't even really think of another person that does it nearly as good as him.
Even he has what I think
He's had.
he what I think he does is he has um, a level of understanding of the game that has been created
Yeah.
through repetition, similar
Yeah.
to, like, I would say my understanding of the game is,
Hmm.
where it's like I've played this game enough that I can tell you, oh, he waited you out that split second so that he could get that punish. He
Yeah.
wanted you to
Yeah.
jump out of shield. He wanted you to do X, Y, and Z, and it gets more complicated from there.
I
I
mean,
don't.
even just being able to break it down as far as you can is like leagues ahead of the average any the majority of what any player will ever get.
That's why I want to
Like
offer the skill.
yeah, exactly. Like I appreciate it very much because Like, I mean, and I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but like, you're very digestible.
I try to be. I mean, I can't just hit you with like
You don't take the Mewtwo King approach.
I don't have frames for you to look at. I just have like ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather work off of ideas. Like, you know, I wrote down what should have happened. Game one is you have a game plan. Ganon is slow Falcon with a better recovery. So you just get off stage and gimp him. That's your game plan. You know, you make that course of action. Get off stage, gimp. That's
Hmm.
all you want to do. So then, you know, you just do that. You start working from there. He dealt with missiles really well, so you'd be like, okay, I gotta get more aggressive and get past him, or um, I need to punish versus reflect. I need to crawl underneath this. I need to just, how do I know that he wants to reflect it, you know, 7 times out of 10. So if I can get him to do it, what can I do to punish him for it? Or you just stop
Hmm.
shooting them and then you surprise him with a missile, you know, which is
Hmm.
it's hard to cut yourself off from options because that's sometimes what people are trying to do. If I want you to stop
Hmm.
doing something and I can mentally dominate you to do it, or if I punish you like super duper hard for shooting a missile to the point where you never shoot a missile again, I've won. Game over. You did exactly what I wanted you to do.
Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Very good food for thought. I haven't played any this week since the tournament, just to like, I've been thinking.
But
Just
just think
needing
about it. Just, you know,
to come.
compartmentalize it. Um, Figure out what you want to do with, like, just in general. Like, think of Falcon as your like base character. Maybe Falcon or Marth as like your base character
Mhm.
to fight against. And what do you want from it?
Yeah. Let's see. Wow, it's very much. This is definitely going to be really helpful, and I'll most likely be going over the VODs and whatnot.
You
Um,
go over them. Go slow mo.
yeah.
The more you do it, the more you'll be able to see the very small nuances that
Hmm.
you know really want to look out for. Because if you're wanting to digest your decision making, you have to see when each thing happens. And I'm talking like, why'd you dash away?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I,
minute decisions that, you know, sometimes are soft decisions, sometimes are hard decisions. You have to be able to
I
explain at least to yourself why you did it.
I watched one of the people I've watched that I think I've been able to like witness. It just feels like you can just witness their level of intent and how they play is Aklo in Melee.
Hmm.
Um, like just specifically with movement and where in his positioning, it's wild to watch him because he does no wasted movement, zero. Like exactly what you were describing earlier, where if he doesn't, he decides if he needs to be, pressuring or he's just making those decisions constantly and is good at it. And it's a cool thing to witness.
The funny thing is, the moment you realize that you can do something without doing anything,
Hmm.
the game becomes easier.
Hmm. Hmm.
You put in a lot less work and you get a lot more reward. Because it's like, I mean, I'm sure you've watched Avatar.
Oh yeah.
You know, so the moment when King Boomy says, there's attacking and defending Jings. It's like there's actually 73, but I'm doing the third one, which is do nothing. And it's like, well, that's there. There's your. There it is.
Yeah, people. I mean, people. Everyone forgets that nothing is an option.
Nothing is
Um,
sometimes by far the best option.
yeah, exactly.
So you just have to think about it, and you have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
And I would say um, in your future friendlies sets, pick a thing you want to do and try to do it. Like,
Do you? This is just. I mean, whenever you're because specifically playing like as a Samus player, I feel like I should maybe sessions where I'm gonna like practice more tournament stuff, like tournament like specific things, mindset things. A lot of the stuff we've been going over that are going to be kind of unfun to play. I don't know. I'm probably gonna I feel like I need to preface this person and be like, hey, yo, these are a little more than just friendlies for me. Is that anything that you do?
No,
All right.
I actually do something a little bit more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I go I go situation by situation. There'll be like times where I really want to take this one string seriously, so I go really hard on it
Mm-hmm.
and then get the kill or whatever, and then I relax. And then
Okay.
you know, I know what I did. I know that I executed correctly. I got it done. I got, maybe I wanted a clip for my stream. I don't really, whatever the fuck it was.
Sure. Sure.
And now I can change my mentality back to maybe some other thing that I want to practice.
Okay.
So you don't actually have to go hard the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You can mix up your play styles.
Look for moments like that I might want to work on that I've had in mind and seek those out. And
Like one of the things I tend to do is, especially with the players who are um, well below, what I can try hard, you know,
mm-hmm.
people I can wave bounce Falcon Punch,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like, sometimes it actually works.
Yeah.
Is I'll do something like maybe an offstage like edge guard
Mm-hmm.
that would 100% kill them if I held ledge, but then I get off of ledge.
Okay. Sure.
So instead of it killing them, they still get to play, but in the back of my head, that's a tournament kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that
it.
100% killed in tournament. But
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to go that hard against that player in particular.
Right.
Then
Right. Because you're not trying to make them miserable.
I mean, some people actually like being squashed, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, I feel bad because Yoshi's an abomination that
He is.
needs to be stopped.
I like getting squashed sometimes.
I mean, if you want to tell the opponent that you're
Yeah, I mean it'll be a discretion thing.
it's really up to you. You
Yeah.
decide what you want to do with it, and you say it and you do it. You could do it my way, and you can kind of mix your normal play with something that you want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a whole game plan. It can just be like a single tech. It can be a single like edge guard. It can be just something you go for. Like let's say you're fighting a Falcon, and you're like, man, I just want to jump off stage and nair this guy every time he gets off stage, and it's gonna work. Let's say 70% of the time, and 30% of the time you die for it.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time it works, you learn a lesson. Every time it doesn't work, you learn a lesson, and it doesn't. Even if it's technically unfun for the other player, like they should also be learning the same lessons, and if they're not, then
That's fair. Yeah,
like,
I mean, because you gotta. I mean, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes I hate playing in those situations where it's like, this is a key learning opportunity for me, but like Mario Fireball is like a Mario that's just like spamming me with fireballs. It's like, I know I need to learn to deal with this at some point.
right. And if they're a player who's worth sparring against, they will present you counterplay.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
won't just take it sitting down. They will try to get around it.
yeah,
If they don't, then where you are in comparison to where they are.
yeah.
Because if you can just bully people,
Then yeah,
I mean,
they don't know what's going on.
they don't know what's going on, and you get only so much.
That was how the other recorded game in this tournament was against the Jigglypuff from Melee, and I like 2 and 3 stocked them. The second game they literally just started crouching in neutral and letting me f air them. I was like, wow, this isn't fun for anybody.
Well, tournament, you take a win, and you just
Oh yeah.
you go about it.
Mm-hmm.
How do yo shatter? I don't know. I just go babble. I stick
No,
my
you just
tongue
throw
out.
eggs.
I stick my tongue out. I throw eggs, and I hit people with my ass.
He does, and it works most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
It's working
Noted.
more. It's working more and more these days.
He says noted. But yeah, if you need any other advice, I can go through the other stuff later. I didn't
Oh,
have
sure.
time
I mean,
to break
no,
down
no, no.
the other
Yeah,
games.
I
But
might just like hit you up to look at it because those other ones are definitely like more. You'll see me doing a lot of what you've said. Um,
more intelligent decision making.
yeah, just like I was comfortable. I was like, I mean, I was literally playing that guy the morning of this tournament with and fully thinking that I was gonna play this Ganon. So I was like, this is perfect opportunity. And I've wasted it. He even gave me really good advice that boils down to what you said. Hold on, let me find it. Um, let's see. Okay, with Ganon, try to pace the match to your tempo. When I get in, I do a lot of damage. Um, more missiles, even if I cape them back, I can't cape all of them back. You don't need to rush me down or go in. And then when I repeat my patterns, you go and punish whatever I do that may be risky. Or that's when you switched up and do a different option.
Yep.
And very boiled down version of what you said.
It's like you make him play your game. If he doesn't want to play your game, then you make him play a different game. And if he doesn't want to play that game, then
You just keep,
you
yeah,
you have you can't do any of that if you're not paying any attention.
exactly. And that's just what this set boiled down to. My blinders were on.
Well, you're
I wanted,
autopiloting, and you came out of it a little bit, but you were pissed by the end of
no, I was so
the third
pissed.
game. You were
Well, also this was okay. So at this point, it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was planning on going into a party with some friends afterwards. So it was like I can either try really hard to win, even if I win this, and make it all the way to Grands, I'm gonna have to DQ against the guy in Grands again, um, and and I've like 2 hours later to this party than I would be. So it was it's not a good tournament at the end.
multiple
Uh, up
factors. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when eventually we go back to in-person tournaments, like
I mean, there'll be a whole other set of Johns from yeah, I know.
like I light I party right.
That is what they call me.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate this, dude, and I'll definitely be looking forward to more conversations similar to this in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for volunteering and letting me use you as content creation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for anyone that watched Hatter. I appreciate you checking in.
Everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Kai was in here, and even Eon. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, we will get you to that next level. You just have to pay the fuck attention to your own
Yeah.
play,
I will.
which is
Well,
easier said than done.
yeah, absolutely.
But I'm gonna play some Monster Hunter Rise, so
Hell yeah.
I will talk to you later.
Enjoy that. See you around.
See ya. All right, chat. I'm going to end my stream for a minute, and I'll come back with Monster Hunter because I gotta set it up. I'm not sure exactly how to do that with my capture card, but I'll be back.